Good morning from sunny Maldives. A slightly different video from me today, and this one is really aimed at the tradesman watching this video who, like me just a few years ago, used to be working crazy hours. So a typical working week for me back in 2015, I would have been getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, loading my van up with some tools, making sure I've got everything, going to the merchants for 7 o'clock once they open, going to work for my customers on the tools for about maybe a 10 to 12 hour day, finish the day's work. Then I would pick up some materials on the way home just before the merchant shut. I'd get home from work, I'd have to unload my van, because I was multi-trade. Even though I'm a bricklayer by trade, you end up becoming multi-trade because, you know, do you really want to go and pay a plumber £300 to do probably an hour's work? So no, you just gradually get a blowtorch, get your own pipe benders, and you do it yourself. So I'm sure there's many of you listening, watching this video, thinking, yeah, that's me. I am now multi-trade. In fact, I do more trades than what I do my own trade, which is what I did. I ended up doing more carpentry than bricklaying. Then I'd get home, and then I'd probably, on the way home, I might have to go and look at a couple of jobs. Then I'd sit up in the evening doing some quotes, chasing some bills, paying invoices, etc., organising trades. A typical day, 15 hours. You know, kids are in bed before I left home for work, and then kids in bed by the time I get in from work. So I never really saw my kids or my wife. My wife was just asleep as well. So I'm sure many of you, that's a typical work day for yourself. Customers throwing in the changes as well. Can you just, you know, the old famous word, can you just? But look, years ago, that was a typical work week, 80 to 100 hours a week, never seeing my family, burnt out, unhealthy, no time for hobbies, and yeah, life was just pretty much like on a treadmill. You know, that sort of same thing 7 days a week. On your day off, it's not really a day off because you're too knackered, or you're prepping for the day, you know, the week ahead. And it's just constant, you know, and we work like we fear work is going to run out, but it's never run out, and it never will run out. We're tradesmen, there's a lack of trades coming into the industry, so it's never going to run out, and that's the first thing we need to change in our mindset. But eventually, you know, my wife could see I was really unhappy, and we sat on holiday one day, and I just said, look, I've had enough. And she said, what do you mean? And I just said, look, I've had enough of this constant 80 to 100 hours a week. I don't do nothing for myself. I don't get time to go to the gym. I just do nothing. And when I go on holiday, I just feel knackered, and I just want to sit there and just, you know, recover. My body used to go into recovery mode, and some of you might relate to this as well, where when you stop working, you get ill. And that's your body's way of saying, right, I've got you now. You've slowed down just enough for me to shut you down so that you can recover before we go again for the next 3 or 4, 5, 6 months of 80 to 100 hours a week. Maybe that's you, I don't know. But, you know, a lot of people I know in the trade, it tends to happen. The minute they go on holiday, they just go ill. So my wife, she saw that I wanted to get a mentor to get me out of my business. And what we did, we went to a seminar, and there was a retreat, and I didn't really know what the retreats were at first. I just thought they were for people that were really, really successful and wanted to grow their business. And my wife was like, you know, you should go and do that. And I said, no, it's for successful people that have already got a good business. And she said, well, you have. And I went, no, I said, it's for people that are really, really doing well for themselves, but they just want to go to that next level. And she said, well, you should be going on that. And I said, no, you know, it's too much money. And she goes, look, if that's going to get you off them tools, and I'm going to get my husband back, and the kids are going to get their dad back, you are going on that retreat. And, you know, who am I to argue? We all signed the small print, didn't we, in the marriage? But look, you know, on a serious note, I'm very lucky that my wife is very supportive. And, you know, she was right. She said, look, if that's going to get you off the tools, you are going to go on that retreat. We've got nothing to lose. Let's go and see what it's about. It could be the best thing we've ever done. Worst case, you just go back to work and carry on doing what you're doing. So, you know, at worst case, we get a nice holiday out of it in the Cayman Islands. So that retreat was something special. And the reason it was something special was because it was the first time I'd ever really took myself out of a busy working month. Like, my life was just crazy busy. I never had a minute to do anything. So to go out, you know, halfway around the world to the Cayman Islands and sit there and, you know, look at stuff like this. There's nothing here. There's nobody on the beach. There's no one around. So you've got nothing to think about but your own thoughts, and you really start thinking deep. And some of the questions was like, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Well, I don't know. I don't even have time to think about where I'm going to be in 5 days' time because I'm always so busy. And it's a really powerful thing, isn't it? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Hardly anybody even asks the question because they're just so busy firefighting month on month to pay their bills, to keep their customers happy, to look at all the jobs. And that's just constant. And when I sat down and thought about it, I thought, well, look, I'd love to be my own developer, but I need loads of money. That was my mindset again. I thought I need millions of pounds to get started in development, which I soon learned you didn't. And, I wanted to come off the tools. But, having a high standard of work is really hard to let go and let other people do the work because we've got these standards. And that was quite easily overcome, actually. It wasn't as bad as what I thought. My mentor said to me, look, if someone's 80% of your standard, that's probably 100% better than most people's standards. So accept 80% is okay. But yeah, I wanted to become a developer. I enjoyed helping people. I've always helped people, especially the youngsters. I love seeing young people come into the trade or giving them a chance in life, because young people are a bit labelled these days as lazy, and they're not lazy. They just need to find their own way and have a bit of support and guidance from us, whether that's a parent, a mentor, or a boss, whatever it is. But yeah, so sitting there, we thought about all sorts of things. We're like, where do we want to live? Well, we want to go and live in Spain where the sun shines every day. So we're out there later on this year looking for a place in Spain. I wanted my kids to come into the business, which they have. We wanted to be a seasonal developer, which means we work in the summer and we take the winters off so we can go and spend winters here rather than in the cold, wet UK, which we do. Wanted a Lamborghini, which I bought. Wanted a Hellcat, which I bought. And all these things that we mapped out came true. Like everything. All the places we wanted to travel to, they all came true. Call it the law of attraction, call it whatever, but sitting there working out what I wanted to do and then putting it down into the next 1, 3 and 5 years and then reverse engineering it back was powerful. And it was actually easier than what I thought it would be. And reality is, it's just about getting out your own way. Just stop being so busy. It's almost like the less I do, the more I achieve. The less I do, the more I earn. The less I work, the more time I have to do the things I want to be doing. So you've got to slow things down. You've got to take time out to work on the business, on yourself, because otherwise you're just going to spend all your life working for other people's dreams and other people's businesses and other people's ideas. So that retreat was really powerful. So powerful I went back the year after, because what happens is when you're building your business or you're changing the things you're doing, whether that's learning new things, getting out your comfort zone, meeting new people, starting new businesses, things can sometimes happen a lot quicker than what you think. And again, each year you need that reset to say, well, look, am I on track to hit my goals? Am I ahead of them? Am I behind? Is there any new ventures that I want to do? Because I've now got some new ideas. I'm now thinking a bit bigger. My mindset's expanded. So things change year on year. And I've been running retreats now for about 8 or 9 years. And some of those people have been back now 4 or 5 times. I wasn't going to do another retreat in 2025. I was going to take a bit of time out. Just been really busy again. And it comes back to that thing, isn't it? How many hours are you working a month? And I work a lot, believe it or not. I know it looks like I'm on holiday all the time, which I am on holiday a lot, but I still work when I'm away from my laptop on my phone. Do Zooms with my mentees and stuff like that. But yeah, I wasn't going to do one in 2025, but at the end of the retreat, the guys are like, you've got to do another one. This can't be the last one. We need to come back in a year because our businesses are growing and we don't want that to stop. We want to come in and have this annual check-in to make sure we're on track, because next year it's going to be completely different. And I'll give you a couple of examples of, one guy was turning over 250,000 as a tradesman, working just like me. And I said to him, look, you need to come on this retreat. And he's like, really? I said, yeah, I think it will do you some good. I said, because I can see you in me a few years ago, crazy hours working for those customers, on burnout, not doing anything for himself. And he came out, and again, he's been back 5 times now. He's now turning over 7 figures. In fact, his first month was bigger than his whole year was just 2 years previous to that. So that just gives you some idea of the growth. This year, we're now towards the end of March. He's worked 6 days on the tools, whereas before he would do 7 days a week, just in a week. So he's done less in 3 months on the tools than what he would do in a week previously to that 2 years ago. Another guy came out and launched a business in October last year, and we have a 4 month check-in, so a live meetup, like a mastermind day on month 4 and month 8, just to make sure people are making good progress, and again just realign the goals, check on any challenges. And his business had already made him 185 grand profit since launching it in October in the first 4 months. And he said to me, Andy, look, my target was 250. I think we're going to have to, increase that target for the 12 months because I'm going to smash it. I said, great, we'll double it. Let's make 500 grand the first year's target. So he's well on track to do that. No advertising. That's just through me putting some of my clients in front of him for that business. So he's not only launched his business, I've also given him a client base, a trusted client base to tap into, where it's a win-win. His services help my clients get better service. But yeah, he's on target to make 500 grand in his first 12 months. I've got most of the people's wives out of their jobs. So we have a few couples that come out, and there's not many left now, but they've nearly all left their jobs and started working with their partners in their business. Because there's no point you earning loads of money and having all the freedom and all the time to go and do what you want if your wife's stuck in a job. So yeah, the wives very often get made redundant within 12 months, which is great. Why not come and build your business from somewhere like here rather than, back home in wet and doom and gloom England. A lot of the stuff I help people do is I don't help create them jobs. So, freedom and lifestyle is very important to me. Coming from someone who used to work crazy hours, I've realised that it doesn't need to be that way. So when people say to me, look, I'm looking to build a business, I'm looking to do that, I don't sit there and say, right, you need to be stuck behind that desk for the next 30 years of your life. It's like, how can we run your business remote with zero overheads or minimal overheads so that you've got the freedom to operate your business anywhere in the world? And I'll give you an example of that, actually, what I'm talking about here. So I've just finished a site for free bungalows. For those of you who follow me on social media will know. And I was supposed to start in March of 2023. We was a bit late with planning, so it didn't really get started till about June it was. And therefore it pushed it back at least 3 months. We certainly had a wet winter as well in those last 3 months of the year. And I had lots of holidays planned, so I normally work, like I say, 6, 7, 8 months a year, and then I'd take 4, 5, 6 months off a year. But I'd had all my travels booked in, and I thought, well, it's going to conflict with the site now, because I'm not going to be there. But I managed to run that site from Cape Verde, from the Alps. I bought 2 bits of land while I was in the Alps without even viewing them. And I deal with a lot of planning and finance and stuff like that while I'm away, legals. So, but yeah, I managed to do that. I was away for 12 weeks out of 15 abroad. And 10 of those days I was stuck in the desert in Jordan, running across there for charity. So I had no phone signal, no internet. And I ran that site, and look, I'm a bricklayer by trade, but I don't lay the bricks. I leverage. I get other people to do the work for me so that I can go and do things like this. This is what life is about. Doing the things you want to do while others do the work for you. They get paid, so it's a win-win for them. You get to live the life you want to do. So life's very different for me now. Again, as for you on social media that follow me, you will see whether you follow me on Facebook or Instagram. YouTube is mostly like development, so I don't really put much of this stuff on there. But I do get a lot of requests to put a lot of helpful stuff on YouTube, which I'm going to do. But it's primarily developments. But those of you that follow me, you'll see that I live a very different life now compared to what I did do just a few years ago. And I just wish I'd done it sooner. And the reality is, a lot of it was so simple. It really was so simple about getting out of your own way and leveraging other people and other people's time, money, systems, processes, etc. So, like I say, this video is really, it's not just based at tradesmen, but for those of you that are tradesmen, you'll relate to this. If you are a tradesman and you want to get off the tools, you want to build your business, scale your business, grow your business to 7 figures, I'm not saying we can't just get you in and do your 6 figures, but really we're looking for people that want to grow those businesses to 7 figures, because we only have limited spaces on these retreats. So, 100 grand, earning 100 grand profit is easy in today's world, like easy. I could set up a business today and I could be earning 100 grand within 6 months in construction. Any trade, even if it's just cleaning patios, you could go and earn 100 grand. Cleaning gutters, you could do 100 grand in 6 months. I have no doubts about that whatsoever. With social media and Facebook ads, you can generate work within hours, within minutes. So there's no reason why anybody doesn't need to have work or create businesses and stuff like that. But if you are a tradesman and you just want a completely different lifestyle and start thinking longer term, where you want to be in the next sort of 3 to 5 years, then maybe this retreat is perfect for you. Now, most of the people are coming back from this year's retreat, but I've got a couple of spaces. I've now increased it to 15 people. Normally we do 12, but I've created extra free spaces by running the retreat slightly different. A lot of this is going to be written down exercises as we go through each day, through each individual person's session. So it's more exercises to do, but it's allowed me to now get another 3 people in, because look, I really enjoy doing these retreats because they're so powerful. The people like coming back because they're so powerful, but I can't spend my life doing retreats. I only do 1 or 2 of these. I did 3 last year, that's the most I've ever done. Normally I do 1 a year. And I can only do so many people to make sure that we get the results, to make sure it's personal, to make sure that we get all your questions answered, and to make sure we get your roadmap of the next 1, 3 and 5 years clearly mapped out, all your questions answered. But if this is something that sounds like you'd like a bit of a taste of, then look, there's an application form link in the comments below. It's not guaranteed. There's going to be lots of people who apply for this. I've got a lot of people on my social media. I've only got free spaces available. I do read through all the applications forms myself, personally. So it'll be me personally that reads them. It'll be me personally that reaches out to you. We'll jump on a call, on a Zoom. We'll have a bit of a chat, find out a bit about where you currently are, where you aspire to be. Now, a lot of people sort of play things quite small. When we sort of talk about how much money people want to earn, well, I'd like to earn 50 grand a year. And it's like, well, why don't you want to earn 250 grand a year? And they're like, oh, I can't earn that. And I'm like, why? Why can't you earn 250 grand a year? Of course you can earn 250 grand a year. It's not hard. It is not hard to earn 250 grand a year in today's world. So it's my role to make sure people are thinking bigger, living to their full potential, living a life of purpose, creating a legacy. Creating a legacy is really important. And just becoming the best version of themselves in all areas of their life. Whether you want to be a better husband, you want to be healthier, you want to have more holidays, you want to have more income, you want to have less stress. All these things are dealt with at the retreat. And like I say, we have a 4-month and an 8-month catch up to make sure you are on track and that you cannot fail. So have a look in the comments, the link's there. Any questions you've got, you can DM me on social media. You can put the comments in below. It'll be me personally that gets back to all the comments. And who knows, January 2025, you could be sat around that table with 14 other like-minded people. Most of those who have already been there many times before will take you under their wing, and that could be the moment you look back and say, that was it, that was where my life changed. I've got that moment. I can look back in 2016 when it happened for me, because it was such a transformational experience. That's why it's important for me to share this with other people, because it's changed mine and my family's lives completely. Never did I think that I would be able to just work 6 months a year, earn 20, 30, 40 times the money for doing a lot less work, and having no stress, no pressure, no customers ringing me, my phone never rings. And looking back, it just all happened pretty quick, pretty easy. I lost everything just a few years ago. I had some business partners take me to the cleaners, had to start from zero. So, once you've got this and you've got a plan, no one can take that away from you. You are unstoppable because you know exactly what you're going to be doing day by day. So hopefully we'll see you soon. Any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. And hopefully I'll see you in the retreat in January 2025.